Go again. Good morning, good afternoon. I don't know, someplace in the world it's evening too, because we have folks that watch us around the world. You are watching Arise and Shine Stories of Triumph live, no countdown, no nothing. And the reason I did that is because I want you to kind of get a taste of the guests that we're going to have on with us today. She's amazing. And this is just her latest project. So just take a look at this. I'll come back, tell you a little bit more about her, and then we're off to the races. Welcome to Arise and Shine, Stories of Triumph. Now, let me say this, y'all. And hey, Benicia. Benicia is right. She already put it in the comments. Let me say this. Nadia is amazing. Absolutely amazing. You saw that little clip there. Not only did she have the nerve to create that magazine, but she had the nerve to create that clip too. I don't know if there's anything that she can't do. She is a star beyond belief. So here's what I need you to do, because a lot of people, well, you figured out that Nadia Monsano is with me this morning, but there's a lot of people that have not, and I can't even believe this, Nadia, but they have not experienced you firsthand, and they don't know your whole story. And we're going to try to give them a snippet today. Let me share a little bit with you about her, okay? And I'm just going to cover the highlights because we have her here so she can cover the rest, right? She is an international best-selling author, you guys. All right? She put her feelings and thoughts and experiences on paper, and that's what came back, best-selling. She's a marketing and branding specialist, and like myself, she's prior military. She retired after 10 years in the U.S. Army. I did Army Reserves, Nadia. I had to take some breaks in the middle, right? But nonetheless, while she was in the Army, okay, minding her business, she did a tour in Iraq. And guess what? She ended up walking out with the Iraqi Freedom Medal. So she's creative, brilliant, and a warrior, and a victor. Any of these adjectives sound familiar to you? Can you relate to any of them? I know that I can. After retiring from the military, she went to work in corporate America as a program director in the medical industry. And she started an apparel line as well. She is the CEO of MSK Apparel. She is a co-founder of a nonprofit called Step Toward Awareness. And I'll let her speak about that because they're doing great things. You just saw one of the projects as a result. And she launched this magazine the year that COVID kicked off. She, I think, launched everything the year that COVID kicked off. So tell me that COVID's going to stop what God has for us. No, ma'am, no, sir. Right? So you know what? Let me stop running my mouth. Let me bring the queen on the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to you the beautiful Nadia Monsano. Hey, girl.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me on your platform. I cannot about me back there. I think there's somebody else in the green room. But thank you so much for having me.
Oh, we're so excited to have you. Just that intro, and I myself have also had the pleasure of having you do some work for me,
Yes.
and you're just brilliant. You're
Thank
talented.
you. Thank
So,
you.
yeah, you're using your gifts regardless of the obstacles you choose to soar, Nadia. And that's really why I chose soaring as the word to describe you, because I get the feeling you're just getting started.
There you go. I'm just getting started. I've just tapped the surface of what I'm able to do and accomplish.
That is amazing. Well, I know that a lot of people want to know, especially me and my nosy little self. I want to know, I have an ear for accents, right?
Yes.
So I would love to know about little Nadia and where she reigns. What's your background? How did little Nadia get started in the world?
Absolutely. Well, I am from the beautiful island of Trinidad and Tobago.
Ah,
Came to America again at the age of 13. My mom and dad, of course, migrated over into the US. And I started at a very young age here in the US. So breaking the accent is not very easy, right? I used to have to try my best in high school to try to sound Americanized, so to speak, but I always have this proper way of speaking. And again, because I was raised by my grandmother when I was in Trinidad, and it was always you need to speak properly, pronunciate your words, and this is exactly how I have been able to continue, pronouncing my words properly, and all because of my grandmother teaching me the polite way to speak, and ladies should be seen and not heard, and like I grew up with all those all those sayings. So coming from the beautiful island of Trinidad and Tobago, that's home. That's always going to be home for me. But of course, I'm excited to, of course, be here.
I didn't want any feedback while you were talking. I am really intrigued by that's something that we share in common, I guess, that our parents are not from the States. I was born here, but my parents are from Panama, and they came through Jamaica
Mm-hmm.
um, and Colombia.
Wow.
So I have quite a little mix. I think they say we're a little fiery, right? We
Fiery, right?
to us, but spice for me came from your country, because there was never a day in my house that there wasn't some pepper sauce from
This,
Trinidad and Tobago in the
this
cabinet. And
yes.
yes, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, people, you're missing out,
You're
okay?
missing out. The
Yes,
flavor of the food is not the same without your pepper sauce.
yes, that's the stuff. And I think that's a little gas for what gets you going to do. All the stuff that's coming out of you is probably from years of pepper sauce induction, right? But
Right, right,
and
of course.
and we share a mutual colleague that I think you've supported and helped her with some of her growth too, and that's she's from the island as well, and that's Joan, right?
Yes, yes. I have the esteemed pleasure of working with Joan T. Randall with Victorious U Press as one of her graphic designers with her publishing company. So I'm excited to see, it's fulfilling when you are a graphic designer and you finish the artwork, right? Like you
Yes.
someone's artwork. However, when you go onto like Amazon and I'm seeing all of the book covers that I have created,
Mm,
is an amazing feeling to know that I was part of someone's journey in releasing their story. And I
mm,
was able to create that graphic cover design for her.
yes.
So, a couple of my books covers are going to be in the Library of Congress as well. So I am super excited
Wow.
working alongside her as well.
That is awesome. That is so awesome to see your work, like you said, to see yourself. It's bigger than you building a legacy that'll be here after you're gone, you know?
Absolutely.
Your name will be in the rafters. when you're not in the rafters anymore.
Right,
And that's what it's all
exactly.
about. And I wanted to stay on the story of Nadia a little bit because, when you come up in a home where the parents aren't from here, rules are a little different. I see the shoulders go.
You're right.
School let out at 3:10, and if you're not in the house at 3:30,
We have a problem.
yes, we
We
have
have
a
a problem.
Houston, we have a problem. So it sounds like you and I had the same strict upbringing, right? So talk to
Yes.
me about how that impacted,
Mm.
your journey, the stops that you made along the way, and where you are today. How did that impact you?
Absolutely. And as you said, growing up home or even here in America with my Caribbean mother that I have and my dad, of course, I wouldn't say she was extremely strict, but it was like, let's not test how far we can go with mom, right? We knew I knew the rules and the regulations of home. And of course, I have the fortunate pleasure of being the only child, right? So I can't blame anything being broken or anything on someone else, right? So I am the only child in the house. So my mom and my grandmother, I really admire them because they taught me about drive, determination, setting goals, accomplishing these goals, setting another task after that and getting it done, right? Like we're not giving up on anything that we have set for ourselves, right? Like there's going to be obstacles that come in the way, and you're going to want to give up. You're going to be like, you know what? This is a bit hard. I don't even know if I can do this, right? But because you know what you're looking for that end result, that should keep you motivated to know that if I just get over this next hurdle, that I'm closer to the next step in getting something accomplished. So I've never seen both my grandmother or my mother give up. I don't know what it is to give up on something, right? There's some obstacles, like I talk about in my anthology that I not too long came out of literally losing every single thing that you have worked so hard for, and you have set some extreme goals for yourself, and you lose it all. And then what do? You're like, and my mother as my support system, one of my support systems, she's okay, so this is what we're going to do next to get you to the next step, right? We're not going to sit here and moan and cry and like, yes, you have to have that time of grief. However, giving up is not an option, right? So growing up with these two powerful women in my life, I know structured the way that I am. And most people will tell you that I'll give you the shirt off my back. Sometimes my mom makes me step back. Sometimes, like, Nadia, you can't stay cold forever, sweetheart. You have to be able to stay warm as well, right? So don't continue to give that shirt off your back continuously. Keep a shirt on yourself to stay warm, right?
That's good, Nadia.
Right, like an extra shirt that you have, sure, give that up, right? But you got to stay warm for yourself. So, because you can't continue to pour from an empty cup, right? So, I've
Yes.
always had that within me. Like, I've always been known to do the give back, right? I've always been known to be the person that will help. So, I
Hmm.
much based that between my mom and my grandmother, who has taught me the strength of a woman.
Yes. That is amazing. And I so relate to that because, the option for giving up, it's like Benicia just said, it's not there for us.
Exactly.
It's not there because we honestly don't have an example of it. And I think every family dynamic, has some similarities, but this is one that is tied and true for the Caribbean and the island
Right.
folks. And, we're like, what? We have, what is the joke? 15 jobs?
Right.
No, there's no giving up. We're going to find a way to make it happen, right?
Right.
And I
Right.
think that every household has a little splash of that. But with
Yes.
with us, it's an extra twist because you never run out of the stories of, you know what it took for us to come here. You
Right.
know, you need to get the good grades and
Yeah.
don't take life for granted and, you know, the whole nine,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Because of
Absolutely.
all the sacrifice. I mean,
Yeah.
one of my favorite quotes, I have it hanging up here on the wall.
Hmm.
Don't drown by falling in the water. You drown by staying there,
Amen.
right?
That's powerful.
It is. It is. And for me, I live by that. And I'm sure there's been times for you where you fell in the water. Talk
Mm.
to me, Nadia, about falling in the water and deciding to get up.
That, wow. So I would say, imagine it was actually in 2020 when I started my Sister Keeper. I knew that I wanted to provide a platform for women in business who um, didn't really know about branding and marketing and things of that nature, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I designed a whole concept prior to launching in February of 2020 of taking all these women business owners marketing material, and I was going to go out to vendor shows, and I was going to go out to business places and network for them,
Right.
and I was going to share all this information about them. And then the pandemic hit.
Whew.
And where can I go to market these folks' businesses that I've promised so much on? I'm going to be the face of your company. I'm going to be doing all this marketing for you.
Right.
I literally had to sit and pivot in my business. Like the first month that I get started, like who pivots within
Wow.
the first month of starting your business, right? But I knew my Sister Keeper was bigger than I can even imagine it to be. It was bigger than what I had planned. And I knew that if I continue the course, that it would get bigger and better. So again, never trying to give up. I said, okay, Nadia, so you can't go out to vendor shows and things of that nature. Create your vendor show online. Find a way to get
Mm.
online, right? And that's when coming online was getting ready to be like what we do now, right?
Right.
So I got in front of it and I mastered the skill of using virtual platforms in order to market other women businesses. And this is why I have the directory on my website under my Sister Keeper, where I have a directory of women in all different types of businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Network with each other and we send referrals each other way and things of that nature. So I knew I cannot.
So
I mean,
good.
when I tell you crushed, I was crushed because I literally had a whole business plan on, and everything was for me to go out. It was never for me to sit behind a camera, right? So I couldn't sit in the water. I literally had people waiting on me like, no,
Mm-hmm.
next, because they didn't know. And I was like, you know what? I went to prayer and I was like, Lord, I know you did not give me the vision of my Sister Keeper to stop right now because of a pandemic. So
That's right.
is it that I need to do right now that can pivot my business and still show that I can continue with my Sister Keeper? And that's how I ended up coming online virtually.
Wow. And that, I mean, that shows your resilience, right? And your relentlessness.
Mm-hmm.
I will not be denied. Even if
No,
I have to come out and not be the Oz, but I have to come out from behind the curtain.
absolutely.
Which, talk to us about why that behind the scenes thing is has always been your strength, right? I have been in a couple of meetings and it's like, oh no, you go ahead, you know.
Yes,
That's Nadia,
yes,
right? And I used to be the one in with my marketing firm that,
yes,
I was used to doing things and making other people look good.
exactly. Exactly. I have always been I wouldn't say the shy type. I am an introvert person. Like you have to know your personality. You have to understand your strengths and your weaknesses, right?
Hmm.
That way you can use your strengths to enhance your weaknesses.
Yes.
I knew that, like you and I talking right now, 3, 4 years ago, I would have been like, "Are you want me to get on a camera and speak? That's what you want me to do." You realize I have a thick accent, and that used to play on me. Like I
Right.
nervous, coming online. Like I might
Mhm.
start sweating and not know what to say at this point, right?
Wow.
But
Yes.
I
Yeah.
realize that I have a voice as well. That yes, I'm pushing other people out and I'm showing them how to come online and I'm showing them how to do different things with their business and letting them share their story, not realizing that I had a story as well, right? That I had a powerful story that can make an impact on someone else. And then I realized that because I have an impact with my story, that I needed to put faith over fear and step out on faith, knowing that my grandmother taught me and my mother taught me how to speak eloquently, right?
Hmm.
So I should not be afraid to come online. And again, for those who are afraid to come online, and I know you're like, oh my God, I have to do videos for marketing and I got to do all these different things, and you're scared, practice in a mirror. You can be your own critic. You understand? Like, don't allow fear to decide what's next for you because you're going to sit
That's powerful.
you're going
Hmm.
to sit still. Fear is going to let you just sit still and, like, no, if I make one more step, I might do something that is fearful. So don't sit still in fear.
I love that.
I took my faith and I stepped out there and I fired, like one of my friends, Kathy Harris, she always says, fire your fear. And that's what I did. I had to fire it. So I had to decide what did I need to do to fire that fear. And for me, I practice in the mirror speaking. I mean
Mm.
to speak in a proper manner, things of that nature. And I was able to sitting here with you today, right? Being able to
Yeah.
talk about, things that I have been able to accomplish.
That is so good. It's so good. Benicia saying, yeah, don't let it
Mhm.
paralyze you, you know?
Yep,
Um,
exactly.
and I'm really grateful. I can speak to several different instances where had you sit down, I mean, you've dropped some nuggets already, right? With the fact that, you have to move out on stuff.
Mhm.
You have to pray and then pivot. And
Mhm.
who knew when you were praying and pivoting that God was going to give you what you needed to get everything else done? He was going to give you the courage, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
And the
the
faith.
courage. Yep,
Crush
exactly.
fear.
Exactly.
And
When I first started my sister keeper, I put myself in a box. And the
mm,
thing I want to say to anyone that's listening is don't put yourself in a box where you're only doing one thing within your business. I learned that my sister keeper can do branding and marketing, graphic design, show production, magazine line, apparel line. Like when I first started my sister keeper, I just wanted to do branding and marketing. That's it. I knew how to create a video, I knew how to do some flyers, and I kept myself in that box. I did not venture out. But I realized after designing certain things, I was like, wait, I might be able to learn something else. So I took a faith and I stepped out of that box and I was like, wow, there's a whole world outside of this box that's so untapped that I have access to. And that allowed me to branch my company into certain directions where I'm not just doing branding and marketing. Like I'm doing so many different things within my business. However, they complement each other.
yes.
I am not a branding and marketing person, but I'm going to perform surgery tomorrow as a doctor, right? Like everything stays aligned,
Yes. It makes
right?
sense.
Exactly. So don't stay in the box. You have to come. Don't do the norm. Don't
Mm,
conform to the norm. Like you be that person that someone else looks up to that says, "Wow, I didn't realize that could have been done. Let me try it." Right? So be that inspirational person.
yeah.
You're showing people how to enhance themselves or their business.
That is so good. Don't
There
conform. Denise says, don't conform to the norm.
you go.
Yes. And Vaughn says, you serve with exceptional excellence and
Oh, thank you, Vaughn. Love you so much. Thank
yes. I love that too, Benicia. Don't conform to the norm. I don't think, you grow up, and especially when you're already different
Mm-hmm.
growing up, right? You don't,
Mm-hmm.
I've always been the one, like in
Yeah.
every scenario. Can you relate to that? I've
Yes.
always, either I was the only one, or
Yep.
I was the one with this, or the one with that. I was the one, right?
Yep.
So when you're peculiar, as the
Mm-hmm.
word says, which we're supposed to be, but when you're young, you don't really digest that. You think being peculiar sets you apart from everybody. You don't want to stand out. You want to blend in and be part of everything, but
Mm-hmm.
not conforming to the norm is what makes us so special.
Mm-hmm. I give you a story that impacted my life from my grandmother, right? In my neighborhood that I grew up in, I was the only darkest person in my group of friends.
Mhm,
Everyone else had lighter skin than me.
mm,
I was always the dark person, right?
mhm.
One day we were playing, my friends and I, we were playing hide and seek. And we were in the room and we turned off the lights so that everybody can go hide. And and before my friend turned off the light, she said, when we turn off this light, we're definitely not going to see Nadia because she's so dark,
Wow.
right?
Wow.
And I was like, wow. I mean, crushed me.
Mhm.
I went home to my grandmother and I was like, why am I so dark? Like, what can I do to get lighter? Like, I always tried to figure out, like, why am I so darker than my friends? And it was always, I was never in love with my beautiful dark skin as a young age, right? And my
Mhm.
sister sat me down one day and said, sweetheart, your black is beautiful.
Yes.
Are unique. And this is why you're different.
Mhm.
Different is powerful,
Yes.
the same as anyone.
Yes.
And from that day, anytime someone said anything about the color of my skin, and if my mom is watching, of course, she will always say, after that day, you would always walk around and say, my black is beautiful.
Amen. And thank you, Mom.
Right? Right?
Amen.
My
Yes.
black is beautiful. The skin color of my skin does not determine the direction that my life is going to go. And I learned that at the age of 13. And to this day, you can't tell me that my black skin is not beautiful. And I love the skin that I am in.
I
Right?
know that's right.
So, going through these things at a young age, sometimes it's hard. You try to fit,
Mhm.
you do try to fit in.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like I have a couple of clients who are coaches, right? And they're like, well, someone is already a life coach or someone is already a business coach. I'm like, yeah, but what do you bring into the table that's different from or that you can teach me that another coach can't?
That's
Let's
right.
what that is,
What
right?
sets
Because
you apart? Yes.
what sets you apart from them? There's a message that you can give to someone that can totally change their life. And we need to understand what that is. So there can be a million coaches, but you're going to be a million and one, and you're going to be different. And we just need to figure out what that is. Right.
Yes.
So I always teach that to a couple of my clients who are coaches and things of that nature who work alongside me.
Yeah. That's phenomenal. That story I know many can identify with,
Mm.
for me it was just the whole coloring period. It wasn't the
Yes.
shade. I was bullied. I was the only black in many situations.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
was bullied because of color. Any shade of it wasn't
Right.
good, but there's so many people that can identify with what you just shared,
Yeah.
you know? And to do that, and sometimes it's bad because in your example, we hurt each other.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
My the pain I went through, when I think about that, it would have been magnified had it been my own
Right.
doing it, you know?
Exactly.
So, but what doesn't kill you? What?
Makes me stronger.
That's right. So, looking at the story that you shared and knowing, I always talk about the circle around you,
Mm,
right? And what the power what power can come from that circle. So praise God for mommy,
right?
you know?
Mom and my grandmother. When I
Yeah.
tell you those two ladies in my life have structured me perfectly, that I can't thank them enough.
Mm.
I really, really cannot thank them enough.
Yeah, I feel the same way, with my mom and my dad fortifying us. And then we
Mm,
have those special people that just outside of family kind of get dropped in our lives, and
mhm,
we need to toss them, a shout out every now and then. I know for me, it was Mrs. Gratola. She was my fifth grade teacher in
mhm.
a private school I went to that let me know that, yes, you're the only one, but you're special.
You're special.
And
Yeah.
don't let anybody ever convince you otherwise.
Yes.
Matter of fact, the reason that they're messing with you is because you're special. And they see
Exactly.
that. She's the one that planted that. They're messing with you. That people in your life give you a hard time is because they see your greatness and it
Hmm.
intimidates them, right?
Yeah.
Or it scares them in some way that they feel they need to try to stop you, but you can't stop what God has set
Amen.
forward, right?
Amen.
Has
Absolutely.
has there been anyone that was impactful, like these creative ideals that you come up with, the
Mhm,
magazine being a give back
mhm,
program, and being able to do multiple gifts and generating revenue from that? I mean, who in your life told you it was okay to think like that, to think big?
right. Exactly. And again, again, I always go back to my grandmother, right? Very pinnacle person in my life
Yeah.
because um but my mom left at when I was a very young age, of course, to come to America. The whole dream that you come to America but your parents got to come first and things of that nature.
Yes.
So at home with my grandmother, it's just her and I living in the house together. But every Sunday, she cooked food like she was feeding an army. And I'm like, Grandma, it's you and I. Like, what are we doing cooking all this food? Someone is going to pass this house today, Nadia, and they're going to need a plate of food. And I want to be able to give it to them.
Wow.
Never failed. Every weekend, someone passed by for a plate of food or they needed some clothes, and she would always have some clothes in the corner. Like, yeah, if Joseph passed by, we're going to give him this bag. If Mary passed by, we're going to give her this bag. And
Wow.
I'm like, Grandma, it's like you're feeding the whole neighborhood. Like, what are we doing?
Mhm.
Because at a young age, you're like, you're taking all my food from this house, and that's what I'm seeing, right?
That was your small picture.
That
Yes.
was my small picture of my mind. And then today, I realize where I get that from.
Mm.
Not small, children tug at my heart, right? Children, and of course, for many people, I'm sure they tug at your heart. And I didn't realize until the other day when my grandmother told me that my grandmother actually grew up in a foster home
Wow.
and given up by her parents. And then back in those days, I know I sound a little old, but back in those days, right? They would go to the adoption home and get the kids to come and clean their home.
Mm.
And she was going to this home to clean, and then that family ended up adopting her. And then she saw them giving back to that adoption home. So it was instilled in her as well,
Right.
right? So she always knew that no matter the smallest thing that she had, she would share, right? She would definitely share. So I've always had this give back thing in me, right? So one day, again, after starting my Sister Keeper, I was like, I have to find a way that my Sister Keeper can give back to the community where it's 100% of whatever I do is going back to this community.
Yeah.
And couple of months prior to that, I reached out to so many different magazine companies because, again, I wanted to start promoting my Sister Keeper. And of course, they were like, "Oh, you're a young business. You're about 2 months in business. Not, get some more experience and then come back to us or whatever."
Oh
And
wow.
when
Okay.
then I was like, you know what? Why not create my own magazine line? I'm a graphic designer.
Right.
See what I can do.
Come on,
Right?
Jesus.
I created my own table. I created my own
There you go.
because no one else, and I knew I wanted to be the cover of a magazine, right? Because
Mm,
everyone's like, oh, let me give you a quarter page ad, or no, I want to be the cover of a magazine, right? So
yes.
what we're going to create our own magazine line. I reached out to, I believe it was 7 ladies in my first issue. One of them actually being your sister Placida. I love her
Yes.
dearly, so dearly.
Yeah.
And I reached out and I said, hey, I want to do a magazine line, and it's cancer awareness. It was October of 2020, and I said I want to do a cancer awareness drive. Would you join me in my magazine line? And I sent out like hundreds of emails to people that I knew, and they said, most of them was like, no, I don't think so. But the top 7 people that was supposed to say yes,
Yes.
yes to me.
They said
And
yes.
I started my Sister Keeper magazine. And guess who was the cover of the magazine? Me,
That's right.
myself, on
That's
the
right.
cover of the magazine, wrapped myself in a cancer awareness ribbon on the cover of my magazine, and I raised money for cancer awareness in October with the 7 ladies that said yes to me.
Amen.
By the time I finished that campaign, the other magazine companies, we're not going to name them, right? Because I love them dearly still. They didn't know my potential. Now they do, right?
Yes.
Reached out and was like, wait, when did you come up with your own magazine line? How can we be a part of it? You're doing give back to them, like you give everything back to them? Yes.
Hmm.
100% of any money that I make from my magazine line goes to a nonprofit organization of my choice every single quarter. I
That
started
is so
getting
amazing.
from $300 because again, back in those, I don't know magazine language, right? I'm learning as I go. So I went from donating $300, $500. Now today, my magazine line donates no less than $1,000 per organization every time my magazine goes out.
Come on. That is
Every
amazing.
time, right? So the
Yes.
7 issues that I've donated $7,000 to date to nonprofit organizations,
Look.
right?
Yes, Denise. She
Look
said, look
at
at
that.
God.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you, Denise.
Yes.
Right?
When you chase your dreams.
You
Exactly
chase your
right.
dream. No one should tell you no to the dream that you have, right?
Amen.
Your
Amen.
dream is to be a cover of a magazine, sure. Everyone's telling you no, fine. I'm going to create my own. I'm going to create my own avenue. Because
Yes.
what the people who created that other magazine line that you were going to be wanting to be a part of, they had to create and start somewhere, right?
Right.
So
That's
you have to start somewhere, but you got to be courageous enough to start.
that's it.
Could have
That's
took,
it.
I could have took that no and was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna take the quarter page ad
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
see what happens, right? And then something in me said, no, you are worth more than that. What you're trying to do with your magazine line is more than that. So guess what?
That's
Create
right.
your own, be your own cover, ask the right people at the right time and let them join you. And my top 7 people said yes to me. And now I'm featuring 12, 13, 14, 15 ladies a quarter. I have a waiting list right now for October features because I have to max out because the magazine can only be about 50 pages. I can't go, more than that. So I have a waiting list now of ladies who are like, when can I be a part of your magazine because you do such amazing work with your magazine line,
Yes. That
right?
is
So
awesome.
let me be a part of it, right?
Yeah.
And know that when they pay for their feature with me, it goes to support an organization that needs help,
Yes.
right? You're donating twofold. My last magazine line supported a nonprofit organization called Helping Hands in Gracious Hands, I'm so sorry, in Charlotte, North Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
May 21st, 22nd. And 21st, I'm going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina for my documentary of Image in the Mirror 2. But on the 22nd, I'm going to that organization and we're going to have a ceremony and we're going to be donating $1,000 to that organization that's
That's so
a
powerful.
woman's shelter. And she teaches them how to get back out to work and provide shelter for them. So I'm getting ready to go make that donation there, right?
That is awesome.
Absolutely. This particular magazine line, and of course, I'm on here to talk to you about today, is to, oh, when I tell you, who this organization touched me because I'm a mother of a son.
Mm-hmm.
And this young lady, Rudy Milton, she unfortunately lost her son due to violence, gun violence, right? And instead of quitting, and this is why I chose her organization, instead of quitting and being somber, her son loved drums and playing music. That's why my intro video has drums playing in there, just to let you know why there's drums playing in there. This organization, she started a scholarship organization that every year she goes to the high school, and if there's a child that's going to go to school for the arts, she donates money for them and a scholarship to go to school on behalf of her son. Right? So these ladies who have joined me in this particular feature, ladies, you are helping send a child to college
Amen.
to go off and pursue their dreams,
Mm-hmm.
right? Based on this college scholarship that they're getting ready to receive from Rudy,
So powerful.
half of my sister keeper. So I'm
That is,
making an impact with my,
you are. You truly are.
I'm making an impact. And
Yeah,
that's my goal.
that is amazing. I mean, people talk about the graveyard and how it's just filled with people that I was gonna, I'm about to, maybe next week, you know,
Ah,
and that,
mhm,
we learned from COVID, and some of us, most of us, I think,
yes,
were impacted in some way, lost someone, or
mhm,
ourselves almost were lost.
yes,
And, you know, we learned from all that. I hope
right,
that you need to be able to say in a deep place within yourself that if the Lord takes you tomorrow or right now, Father, have I done what you asked me to do? Have
exactly.
have I made an impact for the kingdom?
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly believe, Nadia, that you've made an impact for the kingdom. Yeah, and the scary and exciting part about that is that you're just getting started,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So your footprint is going to be huge. It's
thank you.
already, you're impacting a lot of women that I interact with on a regular basis, and some that I don't know, but I'm getting to know, like through
Mm-hmm.
the magazine, right?
Yes.
That you put out. Where did this talent that you have to pull all of this stuff together? I know for me, with my military background, and people are always, how do you do? But the military kind of brings us up
Mm-hmm.
multifaceted,
Yes.
because we can't say no to them.
Right.
We don't have a choice. We
Right.
have to do what
We
they
have
tell
no
us.
choice.
Spin the plate and bounce the ball and do a push-up at the same time, right?
And you want to figure out how to do it. Right.
Yes, yes. But so,
Right.
that's, you can relate to that. But talk
Yes.
to me about how are you able to do, the graphic design work?
Mm-hmm.
Jean said, true that.
Do that. Yes, Gina.
We had to do it all
You have to do it all and figure it out. Yeah.
before 9 o'clock in the morning,
Before
right? It's true, y'all.
that
But
military life. Right.
yes, but talk to
Mhm.
us about that. It's just
Mhm.
so much. And mistake
Yes.
me if I'm wrong. I know you have long-term goal, maybe short now, as successful as you are, of being full-time in your business, right?
Mm.
You are
Yes.
full-time, but not traditional full-time.
Yes.
So talk to us about how you're doing all of this with
Right.
a 9 to 5.
Yes, yes, I do. I do have my 9 to 5. I am in the medical field, 9 to 5. Um, and that, as you can tell, it's a busy time in the medical field, right? And my sister keeper is growing leaps and bounds. So I want to definitely say, I do not do this all alone, right? I do not sit in my office all alone and do my 9 to 5 and handle my sister keeper and all these different things, right? I do have a team that works with me. Who's part of my team? One person, a part of my team you will always hear me talk about is my son. My son, he is learning and growing with me because I'm taking him along on this journey because he's going to go to school for business administration as well. So I need to understand business world, and he's getting it front and center for me. So ladies, even with the graphic design for the magazine, he helped me put things together.
That's
My
so awesome.
son is here with me as well. Of course, I have an admin. She has to take care of the responding of emails and invoicing and things. So what I'm saying is, you're going to start off alone. You are, because this is your dream, your vision, right? You're going to start off alone. However, don't end alone, right? Don't end because you got tired and realize it's too much and I'm going to quit. Just one by one, get help.
Yeah.
Right? And be able to say, and be able to be, because I grew up with a lot of pride, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pride in knowing you better not go ask Miss Susie for sugar if you needed it, right? Like, we're going to figure out how we're going to drink this lemonade without sugar today.
Oh my gosh, that
Okay?
word and the Caribbean people. Oh my
Listen.
gosh,
So
that's another
pride,
show, Nadia.
that's another show, right? So I have a lot of pride.
Yeah.
However, don't have, and my grandmother always taught me though, do not, she always said, don't cut off my nose to
To
spite
spite your
my whole
face.
face.
Yes.
Okay? And I guess it's a Caribbean thing to understand what that means. But it really means, like, if you're not going to not have a nose on your face to spite your face, okay? Like, don't
Yes.
do that. So
Mhm.
knowing when and where to ask for help, right?
Yes.
When do you need the help? When there's a lot of business coming your way and you're the only person trying to get things out, you need help, right?
Mm.
Maybe it's a part-time help from someone. Part-time help versus no help is not good, right? So at least
Yes.
part-time help. But work your way up, right? My
That's right.
sister keeper is not going to continue to run. It wasn't going to continue to run by myself. I would not have been able to take in the business that I did from all these beautiful women that I work with in business if I sat and I did this by myself, right? I would have been doing injustice to
So true.
anybody who came to me, right? Or I would have been going, not that it's not a stressful industry. I'm in a service-based industry, right?
Yes, that comes with
Dealing
it.
with
Yeah.
all kinds of personalities, right? So it is service-based. However, because I have a team, I am able to give my clients that 100% of dedication. And that's what they love about me. You don't talk to my admin, or I don't say, oh, message my admin, she'll take care of you, right?
Mm.
I'm the face to my company. You will
Yes.
always see me whenever you talk my sister keeper, you will see my face.
Yeah.
Right? What happens behind the scenes after I get off a call with you is different. I have team meetings and I do different things with my team. But you will always have one-on-one interaction with me personally, and you will always be able to access me. And again, I use the word getting access to me very lightly
Yeah.
because you have to have boundaries, right?
Yes. Yes,
You
you
can't
do.
call me 9 o'clock at night because you decided that you have an epiphany that you need a flight
Oh, that part.
in the morning.
That part, Nadia.
Yes.
Our coach, female, and everybody here, male, is a coach. Did you say that again, Nadia?
Yes. Boundaries with your time is important, right? Like, if I have a system in place in order to get in contact with me, all I ask is that you go to my calendar, you book your time with me, and you can have me one-on-one, right?
Right.
Don't call me at 9 in the night again because you thought of a plan and you're like, I want to do an event tomorrow and I need a flyer. Nadia, can you make me a flyer tomorrow? Not going to happen. I
Do you know how
promise.
many calls like that I've gotten? Oh my God.
Yes, that's for real.
And wait, Nadia, I've put down the marketing side. Like, I still use it. Occasionally I'll do some projects for friends because when you design, you do marketing, it doesn't leave you. That was the first business
Exactly.
I ever owned. So I'm always
Exactly.
dabbling, but why did I
Exactly.
get these calls out of the blue? And so your emergency should now become mine.
Mine? Right.
No, 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 no.
No, 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 no. Because I'm like, do you have a marketing strategy? Like, because today is Friday, you realize that, right? And you want to do an event Sunday, so that's not going to work. You're going to have like yourself in
Right.
the event that you're doing right now, right? Like, we have to strategize and understand marketing strategy to an event or
Hmm.
to whatever it is that you're doing for your business, right?
Yes.
So my clients, again, every time I have a consultation, we have that time boundary message, right? There's You have full access to me through my calendar. Book me. It's open because it tells you when I am available for you.
Hmm.
Respect my time because I'm trying to give the other person 100% of me as well, just like I want to give you 100% of me. So I ask for that time boundary
Yeah.
in the, within the field that I'm in.
That is so good because to hear a young business owner, right?
Mhm.
And they would say, even for me, 2018 for Then I Rise Enterprises,
Mhm.
relatively still, I'm not at the 5 year mark yet. And
Right.
you're at the two, like you're 2.5, right?
Mhm.
We're still toddlers.
Right.
And so we have to have those boundaries.
I
Uh,
gotta learn. I still gotta learn stuff.
yeah.
I gotta
Yeah.
learn.
And you have to give yourself space for that. What I wanted to do, I want to leave the screen altogether because I want to give you some personal time one on one with your beautiful shy self.
But you're not supposed to leave me. This was not part
I'm
of.
leaving you first, and I didn't tell you on purpose up front, but I want you to talk to the people about Nadia's heart
Mm,
for a minute. If you could share anything with the women that have made it,
mhm.
made the choice to sit with us and the ones that are going to join us, you know, what brings Nadia joy and what can they do to bring themselves joy and what you've learned on your journey so far. And
Absolutely.
I'll be right back. I promise.
But thank you so much. Well, again, thank you, Tanya, for this amazing platform that you're on. Of course, I'm seeing the comments as well, and I thank each one of you ladies that are commenting. Vaughn, Jean, Benicia, you ladies are absolutely amazing. I have had the fortunate opportunity to, of course, work with each one of you all as well on different projects. So you all know, how I operate in business, but I also operate in business, on my spiritual level, knowing that I'm doing this for the greater good, right? I am not just, having my marketing and branding company because I'm just trying to hustle money and just hustle, hustle, hustle all day. If you continue to hustle in your business and you're not having that exact reason why you are in this business, you're going to burn yourself out. Right? You're going to get to a frustrating point because not everyone is going to see your vision, right? As long as you have your vision, and remember, I gave you guys the story of how I started my magazine line, right? We haven't even talked about my apparel line that I started as well, right? But I have a vision. And when you have a vision for your company, and remember, it's your company, your vision, you have to be able to implement things into yourself, which when I say that, I mean courage, right? Not afraid to ask for help when you need it. You have to be able to you have pride, but put it to a side just a little bit to know, like, listen, I need some help. I need someone to help me along the way. Reach out to either a business coach, a life coach. These people are important in your business. I am not sitting here today to tell you I figured this out all on my own, by myself. I didn't, right? I have a business coach, right? I have a life coach, right? You have to have these people, and they're two different people, two different sets of people in my life that hold me accountable, right? Because some days I'll go to them and say, oh, I think I have an idea and I want to do this. And it's like, okay, how are you implementing it, right? So you need to have that. I always call them a business bestie, right? But it's your business bestie who would give you the tough truth of what they're not going to just tell you what you want to hear to pacify you, right? And you have to be able to get constructive criticism. Because sometimes my business coach is like, wait, you're charging what for what? No, ma'am, that is not business industry standards. We're going to do this, right? So those are the type of people that you want in your life because they elevate you. Your circle of people that you are around needs to elevate you. Does that mean that the people that I used to go out and hang out with or the people that I would have brunch with, I don't talk to? No. I have people who I go to brunch with. I have people who I do business with. And they're two separate buckets of people. And you have to know how this person fits in your life. And one of the things that my business coach has taught me and has kept me going is I want you to say a name of someone. And like I gave her a friends list of mine. She made me do an assignment and I want you to try this. Put down a list of all your friends, family, business partners, everyone. Make a list of those folks. And when someone says that name to you, you have to be able to say, where does this person fall in your life? Are they a business partner? And if they are your business partner, then you're talking business, right? If they are your family, then we're talking family issues. I'm not gonna, yes, you can go to your family and sell some things, but they're not your client. They're not your perfect customer. They're your family. So you need to understand how to categorize people in your life so that when something happens and you're like, wait, I can't believe you didn't buy this for me. Yeah, because they're family, right? You needed to go and find customers, clients, right? So understanding where people fall in your life is going to help you elevate. And then you're going to find yourself around circles of people who elevate you. And I had to learn that I shouldn't be the most smartest person in the group that I'm in because I got to learn from someone, right? So I'm going to not remove myself from the group. I'm still in the group of my friends, but now I'm elevating myself into a different group of folks who need to teach me how to get to their level, right? Now, there are going to be some people who are going to be like, you know what? And I do have people in my life who are like, Nadia, you don't call me on a day-to-day basis. Nadia, when I call you to hang out, like you can't hang out with me today? No, because I have a client and I'm doing, work for them right now. But you have to respect that. And you have to respect the fact that not everybody is going to go along with you to your next level. They may look at you like, you don't talk to me anymore every day. No, I can't. Not that I don't want to, I cannot, right? Because I'm elevating myself and I'm elevating my business. And the impact that I want to do with my Sister Keeper causes me to elevate on a daily basis. I love you. If you need something from me or you need to talk to me, of course, call me and I will be there for you. However, I need you to respect the fact that I'm in business and I'm trying to elevate and make an impact with my business. And I would love the fact that you will join me, right? And celebrate with me that I'm doing such positive things, right? But not everybody is going to be that way, and not everybody is going to go along with you, right? So be okay with that, right? And you're going to realize your circle changes, your level changes, everything about your mindset changes, right? So just understand, if you don't take anything else away from me today that I have said to you guys, the one thing I want you to understand is to place the people in your life accordingly to how they're supposed to fit in your life. That will allow you not to get hurt from them. So thank you so much, Tanya, for the opportunity to, give a message to your audience. I definitely appreciate your platform.
Thank you, Nadia. That was, oh my God, there's so many nuggets in there. Categories of purpose.
Yes.
Wow. One that I always say, everybody can't go with you. So stop trying to please everybody and stop trying to live everybody else's life because
Mm-hmm.
everybody can't go along,
Mm-hmm.
right? So powerful. This is the type of woman. This is the, oh my goodness, just the level of excellence that you're going to be dealing with when you're dealing with my sister keeper, right? Don't put an S on it. People do
No,
that like
and
me.
then if I'll tell you just a quick story about that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
My sister keeper. At first, I started off with my sisters with an S because I wanted a community of womanhood to come together. And then I realized, remember, we talked about stepping out the box, and that's what
Yes.
I did. I took off the S because I work with one sister at a time to make an impact on her life and her business. And then we come together to form a sisterhood. That's why there's no S on sister.
All right now, one sister at a time.
One sister at a time.
I love that. I asked the other morning if you have spoken life to anyone today. When I that was my question in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the first person should be you. But
Mm-hmm.
you should not go through your day without speaking life into another sister
Exactly.
and tackle that one sister at a time.
Mm-hmm.
I love that one sister at a time.
One sister at a time. Do you know I celebrate with my clients on their wins, right?
Mhm.
Most graphic designers are like, okay, here's your flyer. Thank you. Call me when you need another flyer, right?
Right,
But or they build your website and they're like, oh yeah, call me if something breaks, I'll fix it, right?
right.
And I've built a lot of e-commerce websites, and I actually have a client, love her dearly, Kimberly Thompson. And last week we finished up her website, and she made a sale on her first sale, right, on her website.
That's awesome.
And she was to the moon. And she called and she was like, "My again, it was during the day." And she's like, I know you're at work." And I answered her because I wasn't that busy. She's like, "I know you're at work. I am so sorry for calling. I wanted to book an appointment, but I'm too excited." And I'm like, "Oh, what happened?" And she was like, "Someone bought my scars." And I was like, "Oh my God, that is so amazing." And we're just like excited so I build a relationship with my clients, right? It's not just you're my client and I'm supposed to deliver something to you. It's like you're my client turn family because we're going to celebrate all of your wins. If something breaks, we're like, okay, that broke. So let's figure out how to fix it because we're not going to stay broken for a long time. So I build that relationship with my clients. And I think that's why they hold on to me so tightly. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm not letting you go. And if I got to share you with one more person, I might get mad. But I know you still have to take care of other people. Yes, because I'm very passionate about what I do. I feel joy when my clients succeed in something that I've done with them.
Yes.
That is what brings me joy. So I work as hard as possible to see my clients succeed. And that's what makes me different from any other graphic designer or any other someone who brands and markets your company for you. I put a personal touch or personal relationship, and again, I keep you in the right bucket. You are my
Right.
friend, right? But I still celebrate with you, and I'm still there as an accountability person within your business.
I love that, Nadia. I love that. And I can say firsthand, um, that I've seen you do that I know you do that. And I think that that's something people should be able to. That's one of the foundations that Then I Rise stands on as well.
Mhm.
Love on the sister that celebrates with you.
Yes.
Somebody very dear to me, we were actually having this conversation the other day. Be careful who you have around you. If they're trying to up you every time you have a victory, you need
Right.
to run the other way, right?
Exactly.
Because we are out there. There's two of them on your screen right now and a whole bunch of them in the room watching. to say that we are the sisters that celebrate with you,
Exactly.
and are genuine, and we mean that. And I want to say in closing today,
Mhm.
Nadia, thank you so much for taking the time out to share with us, for giving us a little peek behind the Monsano curtain, right? For a
Right.
minute. And we wish you just continued prosperity, and I can't wait to see everything just explode even more. You come
Thank
back and
you.
tell us about it.
I
All right.
definitely will. Thank you so much for having me on your amazing platform and your warm guests who have always, continued to comment. I thank you guys so much for your warm, encouraging words today.
Oh yeah, definitely. My tribe are some amazing folks. They are so amazing, and I'm blessed to have them. Venetia is in
My
the room.
mama, yes.
Mama, hey mama, you did a great job with this extraordinary young businesswoman.
Thank you.
So kudos to you, mom. And everyone, I want to make sure that you know to keep an eye out, and please share this broadcast so that there is a young woman that's thinking, you know what? I can't start a business. I'm not smart
Mhm.
enough. I don't know enough. I've never even, I can't start a magazine. I can't
Mhm.
be a graphic designer. If God's put it in you, Nadia is here to validate today and tell you he will give you all the tools you need to make it happen. Just
Yes.
step out. Just step out.
No.
Thank you so much. Nadia, I'm going to close with that brilliant piece of work that you did for your magazine, and let
Yes.
everybody take a look again on our way out. You guys have a great week. Take good care. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.